Hey everybody, welcome back to Wrench with Grandpa. It's a beautiful day here on a Sunday afternoon, coming down towards the end of April, and spring has definitely hit the south. We're doing a little something different today. We got the Barracuda back at the shop, brake systems all tore apart, all over the ground, parts, pieces, wrenches. It's a mess, and I'm still trying to get all my parts together. And so we're going to do something a little different, a little change of pace here today. So we're out at my buddy Evan's house, and we're going to show you something really sweet. I love this car, and I think you're going to enjoy it too. So here we go. All right, here you go, boys and girls. Check it out. You want to fire that bad girl up? '66 Dodge Charger. You hear that, boys and girls? Could it be we got this baby supercharged? We'll find out in a minute. Got those wonderful American Racing Classics on it. Got the black leather and black interior. Got him a really nice sound system in it. Let's give it a few reps there and see what this little girl sounds like. Mopar power. That's nice. Evan, how long have you owned this car?
About 2.5 years.
About 2.5 years. Yeah, well, tell me a little bit about it.
We spent a year looking for it. Finally found it on Craigslist in Cincinnati. Went up there and brought it back.
Yeah? You drove it back from Cincinnati, right?
No, I was kind of scared. A brand new car I'd never driven before, and 55 years old, you know, a little bit too paranoid to do that. So we got a trailer and brought it back. It probably would have made it, but just to be on the safe side.
Yeah. Well, nothing like being broke down out in the boonies and nobody even knows what a Charger is, much less have parts for them.
That's very true.
Yeah. Now, what have you got under the hood on this girl?
It's the original 383 4-barrel.
Sweet.
The whole drivetrain is original.
Great. Well, let's pop the hood and take a look-see.
All right. Want to turn it off?
No, leave it on. Got some of them fancy disc brakes down there, them wheel woods. Alright. Got us that nice capital radiator in there. Got a nice tail drop setup here. Got that AFS2 4-barrel. Now you just recently put the AC system on this.
It's been on about a year, I guess.
Yeah.
Have to have it in Georgia.
Oh yeah.
Just put on the alternator yesterday and the fan about a week ago.
Yeah. Well, we were laughing because the fan's a little loud. We were talking about, well, we'll just tell everybody it's supercharged.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's clean, there's no doubt about it. And Evan is one of our regulars with the Mopar Club and the car show. We ran into each other this year. And I took a lot of pictures of last year's show of the car, but didn't get to see Evan at the time. Yeah, real pretty. Real pretty car.
It's a 63,000 original miles, 2-owner car.
Wow. Yeah, she's a pretty one.
It was originally gold, but for some reason the original owner decided he wanted a black car. He
Well-
painted the whole thing black. Did a fairly good job of it.
Yeah, you know, I find it kind of funny because like my Barracuda, it's that what I'm calling bumblebee yellow,
Right.
but it was originally silver. And somebody decided, well, let's do this with it. And I'm finding a lot of these old muscle cars, people do repaint them, and they don't repaint them the original color.
Right.
But that's just the way it is.
You own a car and you want it black, you paint it black.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes it's easier to paint them than to find one that's the right color to begin with.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this is nice. It really is.
Back seat setup to me is what really makes this car unique.
Yeah, it's
2+2 seating and folding the seats down. Whoa. And that panel drops down. Get that key. Two people can literally sleep back here.
or whatever else.
Don't tell them what went
Yeah.
on in the drive-in back
Yeah,
in the day.
without a doubt, without a doubt. Yeah, that
The
is.
reason they came a carpeted trunk is because it was considered part of the cabin back then.
Yeah. Well, and that's the way that Cuda, you've got the drop-down panel very similar to this. In fact,
Right.
I'll basically the same panel
It's
that I've
very
got in my
similar.
Cuda.
Yep.
And
These back keep my speakers from flying.
yeah, you don't need them sliding around.
Most people cut holes in those and mount their speakers in there, and I just couldn't do that to an original car.
Yeah, I was looking at that on mine and thinking the same thing as you. I'm not going to molest the interior. I'm going to do something like you have, probably do with a surface mount or a separate speaker box entirely. Although I've got some little surface mount box speakers that I've had for years that put out some great sound. They're very small, and they'll mount very easily on the fender wells in the cargo area of mine. So yeah,
this is the reproduction spoiler.
yeah, tell me a little bit. You were telling me at the car show about this, and I've got to say, of course, yours is really the first 66 that I've had an opportunity to have any experience with. So this was kind of new to me. You see on some of these older model Plymouth and Dodges, the early 70s and on up into the later years, with the spoiler, but nothing like this. So you were telling me at the show about this, so kind of enlighten us all on that.
This 66 Dodge Charger actually won the NASCAR championship with David Pearson driving it. When he got to Daytona, on the back straightaway, back tires were lifting off the ground. And with this fastback, it looks fast, but it creates an air pocket right here that lifts the back end of the car off.
Wow.
And Chrysler had some engineers down at Cape Kennedy at the time working for NASA, and they asked them to come up and take a look at this car, see what they could do. And what they came up with was, first, just on the trunk, this little 1-inch piece of aluminum. And they finally realized there was so much air coming down through here that they added these little pieces here. This is the first spoiler ever on an American car, and it won the championship for Dodge that year.
Wow. It's amazing. I guess that's probably when everybody really started thinking about the aerodynamics of their body styles, and especially with things they were putting on the track.
Yep.
Yeah.
In '69, when they started working on the Daytona, they decided they needed 5 miles an hour more on the top end. And that translated to 50 more horsepower in the Hemi,
Yeah.
and they couldn't get it. So that's when they started thinking about big wings up here.
Yeah.
and
Well,
nose
that's
cones.
kind of what brought about the development of the Superbird and the wing on it.
Right.
Yeah. Wow. Well, she is a pretty
Bill
one.
France put the end of that after 1970, banned them all.
Yeah. Well. Technology marches forward.
And Ford and Chevy were real upset when the Chryslers were passing them all on the super speedways.
Yeah.
Didn't help much in the short tracks, but
No. Well, those were the days.
now they're all alike, so
Yeah.
not much you could do to them.
I guess that's why one of my favorite movies is Ferrari versus Ford. I
Yep.
love seeing that GT40 just wax those Ferraris.
Well, you know, I'm not sure, 75, 76, something like that, NASCAR sent a race car to Le Mans. I think they said one Ford and one Chevy. Regular NASCAR cars actually race.
Wow.
No, it was a Dodge Charger and a Chevy
Okay.
were sent over there. The Dodge Charger, they had trouble with heat. It lasted something like 2 laps.
Hmm.
And the other car, whether it was a Chevy or Ford, went maybe a couple hours, something like that.
Yeah.
They weren't ready for a 24-hour race.
Yeah, that's pretty grueling racing, that's for sure.
They were fast, and the people loved them. They'd never seen anything like that. The
Ye-
French fans absolutely loved the cars.
Oh yeah.
They took them all around France on a trailer. You know, showed them off.
Yeah. Well, back in my younger days, I was really big into Grand Prix sports car racing, and
Yeah.
it was always a great joy to be at the track watching the McLarens and stuff, and then see a old Shelby Cobra out there just waxing everybody.
Well, somebody took a Ford Galaxy, like a 1961 or 62, over to England and just destroyed everybody over there in the stock class. You know, it has some giant 400 cubic inch,
Yeah.
408, 409, something like that.
Oh, it's crazy. It's just like right now down in Australia. Some of the guys I see on the Facebook Mopar groups I'm part of in Australia, it's kind of like the old Mad Max movies.
Yeah.
They're taking some of these old Valiants and stuff, and they're dropping, engines in there. They're getting like 500-600 horsepower out of it in these old A-frame, B-body Mopars. And you're sitting there going, are you kidding me? You're running down these roads in Australia in these old Valiants at 500-600 horsepower? And they just, oh yeah. Oh, well, she is pretty.
These were fun cars. They did some drag racing with them, but mostly NASCAR.
Yeah. I think the one story that I had in my repertoire about the Charger was when I was in high school, took some auto mechanics and Bogue Technical School. And we had a young man there from another high school who had, and this was in like 74, and he had a 69 Charger RT. We put a 440 4-bolt main in it,
Right.
rebuilt the automatic transmission, put a shift kit in it, had a 750 Holly setup, I believe, and an Edelbrock intake on it. We worked for weeks, and I had no idea how much money he and his parents spent on parts, but we had that old girl looking and sounding like a bat out of Hades. He pulled it out of the shop on a Friday afternoon. He recorded back into the shop Monday morning. He didn't think about the fact that he needed to break in that new engine.
Yeah.
So instead of breaking it in, he just broke it street drag racing
Oh.
Saturday night.
Man.
And it was a shame because that car was just absolutely beautiful and sounded so nice. And then to see it come back in the shop the following Monday with the guts hanging out of the bottom of it was just awful.
Get to do it all over again, huh?
I guess. I don't know. That was about the end of the year, so, we didn't see much of each other after that.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I've driven some of these newer Chargers. Being the job that I have, I get the opportunity to drive a lot of new model cars, and I've been driving some of the new Chargers and the Challengers and the RTs and the Magnum Hemis and stuff, and they're fun, and they'll jump up and run like a bat, on a straight. I'm not real crazy about them on, if you're having to deal with any curves or things like that, but they just don't give you the same exhilaration as one of these old girls do.
I get a lot of people saying, well, it's a 4-door car. It's not a Charger if it has 4 doors. My answer to that is, yeah, but it's the fastest 4-door car on the planet.
Yeah.
That gives it a little bit of cachet anyway.
What was it? I saw something on a bumper sticker the other day. It's not a race car if it's got 4 doors or a single exhaust or something like that.
Yeah.
If it's going to be a race car, it's got to have 2 doors and a dual exhaust.
Well, my wife's car over there is a 3-cylinder and it's got a dual exhaust.
Yeah, well,
It's nowhere near a race car.
yeah, I hear that, no doubt. Well, she is a beautiful car. Evan and I are going to be doing some things later on this year, I'm sure. And we got some more car shows coming up in this summer. Got some club activities that we're going to be filming later on as well. But today I just wanted to bring you all out, show you another beautiful classic Mopar that we have out here in Georgia. And we've got some more coming up later on. So y'all stay tuned, and thanks for watching. If you're not subscribed, consider it. Big thumbs up if you like today's content, and we'll catch you on the next one.